Hello, I'm FXTricam, welcome back to the Minecraft update news video. Today I have the most exciting type of update news to share with you all because we have a brand new update available right now for Minecraft PlayStation 4 Edition. It's available to download right now. You can get the 1.90 update, or Title Update 90 as we'll be calling it, for Minecraft PlayStation 4 in all regions, in all places right now, and it's pretty interesting because this is an update we saw for the first time last Friday, and when we saw that teaser, we had a lot of different opinions and expectations about what would happen and when. I had my own, I shared in that video, but no one was correct, and I don't think anyone could have been correct about the fact that the update came out today of all days, and also what it's based on is something we're talking about because they basically implemented 1.10 but in an interesting console-like fashion. So let's talk about Minecraft PlayStation 4's Title Update 90, what's inside, why, and why it's so interesting to Minecraft as a whole. So hopefully you do all enjoy this video. You can like it if you do like it because it helps out the channel and lets know you do like the Minecraft news videos. But let's dive straight into the first and maybe most obvious thing for a lot of people, which is the fact that this update includes the brand new textures because it's based on 1.10, which did the same, which means now Minecraft PlayStation 4 has new textures because you're probably more used to seeing Minecraft looking like this. So what's the deal with all of these brand new looks that you're going to be seeing in Minecraft the game? And that is because they've adopted the brand new textures which are going to be the standard as of 1.14 for Java, already are the standard for 1.10 for Bedrock, and are now the standard for Minecraft Console Edition, Minecraft PlayStation 4 to be more precise. But the cool thing about the way they've done it on PlayStation 4 is it's the least hassle of all three systems, and I would argue the best implementation of the three, because unlike Bedrock where you have to go into the store and know to download it, where to look for it, and then apply it to all of your worlds, the way you do it in Minecraft PlayStation 4 is super simple. Because whenever you load up a world, in the same way you can pick from all of the different textures or mashups that you own or do not own right here, you can also see literally right next to Minecraft, the second texture pack is Minecraft Classic. And it does it in a really good way where I think it allows people to pick it easily, but also says the game will have new and stylish textures, which you can always have. Why not try both packs and compare for yourself? I think this is the best way to introduce it, both in terms of people who want to stick to the old thing can do that much easier than on Bedrock and Java, but also in terms of the fact that, like, oh yeah, it encourages you to check out the new thing. I think it will have the best adoption rate of the new textures, and what does it matter if people play Minecraft the way they want to, the way they used to? I really like this system. It's one of the cool improvements they've done in their implementation of 1.10. But let's load back into the world and let's talk about all the other features that have come here, because again, if you know what 1.10 is for Bedrock, you're probably pretty familiar, but if you're a Minecraft PlayStation 4 player, maybe you don't have a Bedrock platform, or you just don't like playing on your phone, PC, or Xbox or whatever, then you might not know what's exactly in here, so let's talk about it one by one. So first of all, the big one I feel like we have to mention is shields. Shields are now officially in Minecraft PlayStation 4 Edition, and although they're exactly the same as the Bedrock shields, for the most part, they have one really cool bonus, in my opinion, which is the fact that they do show up as a separate slot on your hotbar, so you can always see when they're there just by looking at your hotbar. You might say, like, well, you should always see when it's there just by looking at yourself, but again, I like the showing it on the hotbar. It's a nice little detail, and it's a cool little thing that Minecraft, PlayStation 4 has that I would like to see on Bedrock, and maybe this is a signal to them, because everyone I've seen seems to be like, oh yeah, I like this a lot. This is a nice little benefit. Even though there's no real functional change, you might argue, it's nice to have that extra little inventory slot. Everyone seems to agree. So besides that though, and besides the crossbow, which by the way, you can use both the new things at the same time if you want to shoot people, and the animation for the crossbow, I don't know, again, it's just a little bit uncomfortable to me, but again, this is how things are. This is the PlayStation 4 crossbow, this is the PlayStation 4 shield, pretty much the same as the Bedrock counterparts, designed that way in fact, but as well as this, we have three, title features, all of which start with the L, because this is really the triple L update. There is the Loom, this is the Loom right here, there is the lectern, this is the lectern right here, and they've added the lantern to the game as well. So we now have a brand new light source, a way to read books in Minecraft, which is kind of cool, as well as a way to craft banners. Except we already had a way to craft banners, so now the banner crafting interface has been mostly moved away from here, because again, that's a thing that you can still do if you'd like to, but it means that now the banner crafting interface can be done at a separate block as well, which again, I think this is like the objectively cool way to do things, right? Like, oh yeah, keep the old system in place if that's what people would like to do, and that's the thing. You can always choose to do if you'd like. You can still use, the things directly on there. And I think for PlayStation 4 players, realistically, most people will choose to do that. Like, okay, I can put the lime, green blocks on here by doing this. Or the other way that you can do things is you can go to decorations. If you want to do things more bedrocky, you can go to the banner patterns. You can find the one for bricks. You can take this field mason. You can put it in here with your pink banner. Then you can find that in the exact same spot here find the green dye, and then combine the banner charge with the dye. That might sound like a lot of steps to get the exact same thing, and truthfully it is, which is why I think I'd be curious to see if most PlayStation 4 players ignore this block, or if they pick it up, or if they use it sometimes. But I really like that they've kept the options on PlayStation 4. Again, it shows that, at least to me, that 4J is doing a really good job of listening. Like, oh, people didn't like, there was a downside. Why not have the best of both worlds? Have the Loom be a brand new block you can choose to use, but why remove the old player choice if you don't have to? And it seems as though they didn't have to, so they've kept all of this here in the old style if you like it that way. So yeah, really big fan of the way they've implemented banners as well. And it just, again, to me, it's like, hey, look at that. That's a cool way to listen to the community. However, something that is a bit bizarre about the way 1.10 is implemented, because again, Loom, lectern, lanterns. Should we show off lanterns, by the way? That's a thing it probably would make sense to show off. Look, here are lanterns. They're really cool. I like them a lot, but I mean, it's a light source block. There's not too much to talk about here besides they're cool. You might appreciate them. You have to place them below a solid block, not a staircase apparently. But yeah, there is a brand new block, looks like this. So we go below ground. You can place it on underneath something. It has a nice little chain. Everyone loves a good little lantern chain. Everyone loves lanterns as a whole. I think they're a really solid block, and maybe you like them, or maybe you don't. But either way, yeah, Loom, lectern, lantern, pretty cool. 3 new features, plus the crossbow, plus the shields. They're the 5 main features in this update you're probably going to care about, because there is also a brand new cat skin. There's now Jelly the cat has been added, which you might care about, but I mean, like 11 cats is more exciting than the 12th cat. Like, again, like when there's a certain amount of time to me where like, oh yeah, well, adding 1 new cat in a separate update, it's not a big deal, so we won't talk about it too much. And similarly, adding banner stencils, like they exist in the game now. This thing, the thing you saw me craft in the crafting table. This is kind of cool that it exists, but again, for most people, it's like, well, it's kind of a subset of another feature. We've got the vanilla texture thing, which is of course a thing. We have pillagers in creative only, which to me, alongside the fact that books, again, we have a book in here, we're on page 1, and you can see how like, oh yeah, we're clearly on page 1 of this book, but it doesn't give off any redstone signal because they're copying Bedrock exactly. Even though Bedrock plans to do something in the future, they can't add something based on Bedrock's plans, at least, again. They would do this if they had the choice, I would assume, because it's really bizarre having lecterns, which without their key feature. Because on console, using it as a book reader really makes no sense. There's no maps to read or anything like that. So really in this case, it's just like, oh, the lectern is just a way to read books that you didn't really need, that doesn't work as its redstone function because it's not on Bedrock. So you can see how that's probably a requirement. If not a requirement, then it's a weird internal rule they're following. And yeah, that's a thing you now know that you might not have before. The only last major feature is the fact that there are now bark blocks. So you know how we have logs, but logs suck because they look like, trees on the inside? Well, wouldn't you like it if that wasn't the case? Now that can be a thing, both survival and creative. You can have bark blocks. That's right, it's bark on all sides, which is amazing for making trees, because this tree right here, for instance, wouldn't it be great if we could take away all of these, awful impurity looking things, and, like this branch right here clearly is meant to look like, oh, that's not jungle wood, is it? What is this tree made out of? It's spruce. Oh, because they're all custom trees. So wouldn't it be amazing if instead of having like branches look kind of weird, you could do stuff like that? A lot of people might agree with that. Why are there wood logs up here? Did I know I was doing that? I'm not even sure what I was doing. But yeah, you can see how, it's a lot easier to make trees that don't have weird sticky out bits like that. And yeah, making trees is now a lot easier. And if you're someone that apparently, like me, a long time ago, likes making lots of different types of trees, then you can do that a lot easier with bark blocks. Or you can use them for survival builds, or just really, there's just a lot of cool function for this. 6 brand new blocks is nice in any situation, and I think we can all agree, heck yeah, that's a thing in the game. Then we've got the last kind of major feature, because there's a lot of smaller ones. We have the fact that if we scroll over to our trophies, you'll notice how there's a brand new trophy set, because there's expansion pack 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. There is now expansion pack 9, and this shows to me at least an area where 4J maybe has a lot of freedom, because expansion pack 9 does not line up with the Bedrock achievements in a really confusing way too. So we have this, which is also a brand new achievement from the Bedrock style update, but then the rest of these achievements are like, okay, this is an update aquatic one that they forgot about. This is a pre-Bedrock days, like this is from the far past of Minecraft Bedrock. This is just brand new, like, exclusive to console, and it's just pretty weird to me. They're like, oh yeah, 6 brand new achievements, different, so if you do play lots of Minecraft platforms, you play the Java, you play the Bedrock, and you play the PlayStation 4, if you like getting PlayStation 4 trophies, and honestly, I love achievements, I'm not a big trophy guy, but if you love trophies, then it's cool that you have a different challenge on Bedrock, on Java, than you do on, PlayStation 4 than you do on Bedrock. Got there eventually, we did it, guys. Anyway, so next up, we have the fact that, I just thought this was interesting, because I was looking in the same place. I looked at expansion pack 8, the most recent update, the update aquatic, that had achievements, and it's interesting because you can see how even even though like only 0.1% of people have ever built a tower of scaffolding to reach the maximum build height, clearly not many people like getting trophies just for the sake of them, because that's quite easy to get if you go after it. But you can also see how 11.1% of players discovered a shipwreck, which to me tells me that even all these years after it was originally sold, even after all this other stuff, 11.1% of players have opened a brand new world since the last update, or happened to find one in their existing world from before then. But still, that means 11.1% of players not only play survival, which we know very few people like do, like it's roughly half of all players, right? Because you can see how there's like a taking inventory achievement that pretty much no one has. So like, again, even the most basic of things, like get a better pickaxe, 57% of people, 61.2% of people have ever killed a cow in survival. So that means that even of that fairly small subset, 6 in 10 players, 1 in 6 of those people have played a brand new world since the last update, and they've discovered a shipwreck. And that even then requires you to go underwater, which to me signifies there is a huge PlayStation 4 player base, because we know there's over 1 million copies sold, some number of millions in fact, which means that at least 110,000 people have played since the last update. So yeah, there is a huge PlayStation 4 community still, and it's cool that this update is for them. So I'll show on screen just the rest of the changes, because they are all cool features, but they're kind of the secret features most people don't know about 1.10. So stuff like cats can now be healed by feeding them fish. Chorus fruit flowers now can break when struck by an arrow. Very niche feature there. Creepers can drop records if they're killed by a stray, as opposed to a skeleton. And dead bushes can be used as furnace fuel. Just as a weird one on this. Interesting thing about this is as of the new textures, shrubs and dead bushes look different, and shrubs cannot be used as furnish fuel. You have to use dead bushes because they're dead and therefore will light, whereas shrub is a bit too alive, I guess. Just an interesting little change you might not spot. They're not very good furnace fuel. You get about half a smelt per dead bush, but it is a thing that now exists. We've got the fact that decaying leaves will now drop sticks occasionally. This is apparently an intentional feature from 1.10. We're all a bit confused by that, but very much intentional. We've got dispensers with shears in them, can now shear sheep when activated. New shapeless recipes for rabbit stew and beetroot soup, and replacing wet sponge in the nether, and warm biomes will dry it out after some time. That's a pretty cool feature because, like, I mean, it just kind of makes just as much sense as putting it in a furnace. Sponges can now dry themselves, and that's kind of awesome. However, alongside all these changes, which were intentional, we have something which I think is going to be fixed soon, so expect a TU91, because the item switch speed is crazy fast. So look at me right now. Look how fast I'm switching between things. Like, this is what it's meant to look like from third person, but look at it from first person, and it's like, oh, these things are scrolling way too fast. Like, go 2 blocks right here, and you can see, like, oh man, this is kind of weird. It's maybe double the speed it's meant to be, so maybe the animation was copied from Bedrock at like a lower frame rate, or I don't know what the case is, but things are very strange on the PlayStation 4 edition. I assume it will be fixed, and it's not intentional. And if it is intentional, then isn't that kind of cool that everything just slides in and out so fast? Maybe you think it is, maybe you don't. But yeah, thank you very much for watching today's video. Regardless, I hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you learned a little bit about patch 1.90 or title update 90. There's a whole interesting thing regarding names in Minecraft, because Minecraft Bedrock names are changing soon, it seems, because 1.11 is going to be called R11, it looks like. Again, that's our current assumption. So there's a lot of weird names regarding updates. But for now, this is title update 90. Bedrock is either 1.10 or, you know, R10 if you want to call it that. And Minecraft Java is about to have 1.14 and is currently on 1.13. So hopefully that helps you understand what's going on. 1.14, TU90/TU92/TU93, and 1.11 are the village and pillage updates. Now you know what's happening. Now you know what's going on the PlayStation 4. I hope you all enjoyed this video about it. You can like this one if you did like it, because it helps out the channel a lot and lets us know you did like learning about shields and crossbows and all the things in between. You can share it if you want other people to learn about those things. And yeah, I think it's so cool that we learned that there's like over 100,000, several 100,000 to be precise, players still playing PlayStation 4, and I think that's awesome. So go check out this update or something. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video, because I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.